Welcome back to another adventure. My name is Nick, and today we are looking at our third and final video of our trip down in Bentonville, Arkansas. This trip we took back in May of 2023. We've got two videos ahead of this one, kind of a preparatory training video. We have a part one where we take a look at the first 2 days of our trip, and finally part three, we're going to take a look at a couple more trails and see how it all turned out. Bentonville is what mountain biker dreams are made of. This was my second time being down in Bentonville, and we had absolutely terrific conditions here at the end of May. It wasn't rainy, but it was a little warm and humid, and we had terrific trail conditions. It's nice to visit Bentonville with great attitudes and great friends. There's nothing out there but trail for you to be out enjoying each and every day. As many of you already know, and I probably don't need to explain, Bentonville is an extremely unique and beautiful place. It is built around mountain biking. The culture there supports mountain biking. The trail systems keep getting better. There are more every single year. They're maintained at an exceptional level. And for somebody that doesn't get to ride mountain bikes in such premium areas as much as I would like, this was certainly quite the treat. Thankfully, I have a beautiful family, wife and children that allow me the time to visit and travel and do some riding, something I truly, truly love. I have great friends to spend my time with and to travel with. I have an awesome job where I'm able to find a little bit of time to go and head off on these trips. I'm just really thankful for this opportunity to be down in Bentonville and ride some of the best trails. Second part of our second day, we visited Handcut Hollow. This trail system was something Brent was interested in checking out. It was a little bit new, certainly more cross-country and rugged. As we pull into the first and second corner here, you can see a lot more shale here at this trail. It's a little bit newer, if I remember correctly, and the style of this particular area of Bentonville, it's northeast of downtown, is certainly a lot different aggregate within the ground, and so that's reflected in the trail and creates definitely a different riding surface, and you definitely have to prepare yourself and adjust your riding accordingly. Getting over to this area was actually a bit of a chore. We ended up having some fun in downtown Slaughter Pen area, but once you hit the Greenway, it was a little more difficult to find our way. We were looking for the connector trail, which actually turns into a unpaved access road for residential vehicles. But eventually, after a couple of U-turns and backtracking, we did locate the right route, made our way over here, and once we hit single track, the trail itself was actually quite difficult. I was surprised at as much work as it took either hitting the brakes or really digging deep to push through a climb and making sure that you weren't spinning out your back tire because the ground was just so rocky and the aggregate was shaly. So the trek over to Handcut Hollow was something we had to work for. Starting bright and early on our third day, we had a little bit of time to kill, knowing that we had a long day and that we didn't have to spend the whole thing on the trail. We decided to hop in the truck, head south down to Rogers, Arkansas, where we found Hobbs State Park. These are part of the OZ Monument Trails, and they must be some of the most fun trails I've ridden down in Northwest Arkansas. Of course, I've only seen a glimpse of what Bentonville and the Northwest Arkansas trails have to offer, but the Hobbs State Park trails were absolutely some of my favorites.
I took that rock pretty good. It's actually for the CO2.
Oh,
You mean this? That you put back in the tank?
yep. Yeah. Yeah. Nice little jockey action.
First up on day 3 is a ride here at Hobbs State Park, which was my personal favorite trail system out in the Northwest Arkansas area. Partly because it's incredibly flowy. It's this long cross-country style flow, no real big jumps or features, or just some of the best flow, fast, dipping and diving riding that you can find. The views are incredible, beautiful bluffs left, and on the right we have a small lake that we eventually get to take a better look at. Hobbs State Park has a couple different options for what kind of ride you have time for on that day. You can do all of it, which is what we did, or you can just head out one direction, which is where we started, which brings you to those nice bluffs and that lake view, or you can head over to their downhill runs, which is where we're at right now. These two trails have incredibly fun, fast, flowy downhill sections, which are accessible with a return trail. Very easy to climb back up and do a few loops if that's all you've got time for. I think it's pretty evident why I love this trail system so much. There are tons of fun aspects, especially the downhill flow. And I never felt like I was out of control or like I was going too fast or the features were above my ability level. So I felt within my element, very relaxed, and had a ton of fun with as much speed as I could carry. That clocks in at roughly 4.5 minutes of straight downhill flow.
Finishing up our time with the downhills at Hobbs State Park, we jumped back in the truck, took a nice rest, headed to the campsite, put our feet up for a little while before we headed to Bella Vista. We were looking for trails like Tunnel Vision to spend a couple more miles to round out our third day in Bentonville. And once we made it to Bella Vista, we found Tunnel Vision and a couple other connecting trails to do a nice little loop and round out the day there on day 3.
They have incredible downhills with really great soil and trail makeup. Aggregate here is a little bit more compact, and I really enjoyed some of the downs, even the climbs. They have these great rolling climbs, which are just the reverse direction for whoever's sending that descent. For you, it might be a climb. For somebody else, it might be a descent. And so you have these really nice flowing opportunities to kind of pump through the bottoms, and it'll take you up the other side. These switchbacks that make it really easy. They're really fun to rail, tons of speed on the way down as well. So the forest is gorgeous. The maintenance of these trails are really great, so they're just really fun to ride. They build in a lot of kickers and fun features. They're not totally pronounced. They're a little bit more hidden off to the side of the trail here. And Mike was absolutely taking advantage of those, being very playful with the bike and the trail. Of course, I'm a little bit more reserved. I went over the handlebars a couple years ago, broke my collarbone. I don't have a lot of experience jumping, so I leave the hang time for Mike.
For day 3 down in Bentonville. Sadly, I do not have footage from day 4. We spent that day riding Kohler Mountain Bike Park. We were taking off late morning and we decided to do a quick ride out at Kohler. We were back at home base at the campsite to tear down and get ready for our road trip home. I didn't collect any footage, but that's okay. It's not always about setting up the cameras, but more so about finding your adventure and having a good time and being there on the trail. It's already 2024 and I'm not sure Bentonville is in the works for a guys trip, but we might take the family down there so we can still do some riding. Instead, I think the fellows are thinking about going to Marquette, Michigan in the UP for a nice 4-day big time trip. If you're interested in checking out some more of my videos, we've got 2 more ahead of this around the Bentonville trip we took in May of 2023, a few others on the channel, and some more to come. So if you like adventures, want to be inspired to do your own adventures, or know somebody that might be interested in these videos, please like, subscribe, comment, let me know what I can improve or something that you're enjoying from these videos I can do better or you'd like to see more of. Again, my name is Nick. This is another adventure, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.